Hello, this is more I caught involved with a whole bunch of natures of child abuses. And they forced it at first with a principal sex offender. Now these are interbranch drug cliques and sexual circles, all kinds of other natures of database crimes at campuses of each age connected. Their extended family members also involved with human trafficking acts with WFSB. Now this Aiello Home Services is also with timed ad placements with the ad companies, I mean, with the news companies involved with racketeering with Aiellos. So we're gonna call them up. We're gonna try to get a response because the police, they're forging names, switching names, preventing response in writing. The judges are doing the same thing. These are people with Trade Center predicate acts roles. Trade Center attack context from Connecticut. First interbranch crimes, then in the Trade Center attack context, it was proven after they were tied to a post-dated documents had been shown to the Ninth Circuit panel of judges right before the Trade Center attack. That proven led up to a 2006 Connecticut case, part of a case /S, with former director of the FBI and his co-defendants and their family members also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with the Aiello. Aiellos are a whole bunch of people recorded, confessed to Aiellos, and a former mayor Gold also recorded, confessed, involved also with forensics cliques and drug cliques in sexual circles involved with the child sex offenders, like adult ones, and with prosecutors, all the positions of the courts. Their Facebook pages, interbranch, recorded crimes with the principal sex offender worse than he was put in jail for. And they forced it at first. He was caught anyway. He got caught reportedly in Walmart taking upskirts of little girls. Mike Pandolph, others also confessed recorded roles with things like that with people all along a route that goes by the state judicial branch offices, on off it, Fianzas, people with them. Okay, we're gonna try 1 8 5 5 5 6 8 6 4 7 3. I'm gonna try if I press 1. I don't know if this is the same Aiello family, but connecting with WFSB won't stole my identity, stole me to a fake location. Hello? This us person with Stanford, Connecticut, reported festival ties.
Hello, Aiello. That's me speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, how are you? There's a Joe Aiello from my town, and there are people with WFSB, the news, and they confessed and recorded crimes with a principal sex offenders campus. And I can't get a response. And they at first forced that not told on because they have a police chief's daughter with the school, and they have prosecutors with their kids there, and they're stealing my identity, attaching me to fake locations, even with the news. So I can't have free speech because they're attaching me to fake words. They did that to my family. They're attaching little kids, human trafficking acts. WFSB, they keep putting up Aiello's home services. And this Aiello is also online recorded and confessed, involved and offline with crimes with a former mayor Gold with this. Like a whole bunch of people interbranch with drug cliques and sexual circles that did bad things, and now they can't afford to not butt into other people's businesses because they're in trouble. But I can't get a response. WFSB won't give me a response. They have crimes recorded, confessed with judges, forging names, switching names, roles with states attorneys. Can you get me a response to the Joe Aiello? The Aiello family is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with some human trafficking and child offenders with my town's police. I know that's like scary, but they brought that up scary on purpose. Hello, Aiello. Because in your ad, you also said that you use other people's words. The Joe Aiello, if he's associated with you, that's further. She hung up. I don't know if she hung up or transferred me.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need assistance, dial the operator. Please hang up now.
Okay, now we're going to call information to get the number for WFSB. We're going to call them now.
Thank you for using Frontier Communications. For quality purposes, your call may be recorded.
So I'll call maybe
City and state.
Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Say the name or the type of business.
WFSB News.
Hold on. I'm looking up your request. WFSB TV channel. Is that what you were looking for?
Yes.
The number is 86024417000. To complete your call.
Okay. 244. So now we're going to call the news. Again, I called them before. These people won't correct their news. And they attach me.
Channel 3, Annie speaking.
Hi, Amy. Channel 3 attached me and my family to fake locations and fake ties to federal criminals that we beat in a lawsuit, and there was one that was going on. And they did this with a principal sex offender. Now, the Wethersfield Police Chief's daughter and his extended family members were involved with worse than they put him in jail for, which got caught anyway. They hid it, enforced it by lying about me, by using you guys to attach me to fake locations. And in other words, you guys stole my free speech. The court wouldn't give writing too. This is when they were still forcing the principal sex offender. Now they're.
Put you on hold real quick, so you could talk to someone else about this who's will be more knowledgeable about this. So just give me one quick second.
All right, thank you.
Hi, this is. We appreciate your patience. Contact us.
So the line when they said our calls are very important. That's recorded.
At WFSB.com.
Experience. It's how you cover Connecticut weather.
So you have to understand the theater that they have news departments, because on all Fox Connecticut News is also with the same clicks, and their families involve racketeering here. Racketeering methods and motivate
More than 91 years.
natures of motivations missed.
Sorry, Shawana Parry is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello, Shawana. Perry, Miss Perry, I don't know you. They just transferred me over to you. WFSB, I called the numbers of times to have you guys unattach me from the fake conversations and fake locations you attach me and my family to. You also know, and with your lies and the fake communications with me, attach me to fake relationships to doctors and mental diagnoses as a kid and as an adult. Now, these are people forging names and switching names. They did that to me as an adult. I caught them with child abuses, and they made me raise my voice. Whatever. And so they made a mental evaluation. They used that. I had no conversations. They used that to forge names, switch names, various natures of courts and their drug cliques and their family members that were already involved with attaching me to fake conversations, fake ties to them when I was a kid. Did that further now as doctors and as police forms. Now, these are also people who recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering acts roles with former director of the FBI's co-defendants. They don't realize that, but that was leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context before they were his co-defendants. And another part of a case says, and they've had post-dated documents inside the Ninth Circuit right next to the Trade Center. So this is also tied to no, since before the Trade Center, I've been trying to report things that now I know the connections to. But I was trying to report other things connected then because strangers were making confessions to me. Now, Aiellos Home Services, per Joe Aiello, I don't know if that's the same one, but that name anyway. And WFSB, they attached me to fake locate, human trafficking. That's human trafficking. That's racketeering. I called a bunch of times. You guys won't correct your news, and the courts wouldn't give writing. They have huge drug cliques with the courts. Whole bunch of ways involved with racketeering. With a kid that came into my school, and when I was in 4th grade, I had nothing to do with it. I had no classroom in grammar school. Now this is the same grammar school where he's got extended family members on and off of it, and further involved with sexual and medical and overt drugs racketeering and sexual abuses of the youngest kids. They're forcing that sustained for years now. Right, an officer, Jerry Miller, others recorded and confessed on even interbranch Facebook pages involved with this. So what I need is to have a response in writing, and I need them to forge to respond with one name and sequence into branch. Because states' attorneys have the judges involved forging names, switching names, falsified police reports, switching the names of the officers, attaching me to a fake arresting officer from another city. In other words, that's like a detective Samura is recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with them with falsified police reports. Also with an officer Magnanos, who was the real arresting officer, and he's from East Hartford, but that was on the campus of CCSU. He kicked me off, and then they came with a promise to appear first to start all of this with Wethersfield Police. Now those are the people, Wethersfield Police, Newington Police, Intercities Police, interbranch drug cliques, are further involved with the same house/S with the child offenders, mail crimes, wire crimes, real estate crimes, also with the courts involved criminally. Now, these are people leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context criminally. So, fix the fake news, fake conversations you put me in with WFSB. Then they told you guys are recorded, pretend you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm saying fix the fake locations, the fake relationships to doctors as a kid, fake relationship to mental diagnosis as a kid, so that spread lies with people with interbranch drug cliques, sexual circles, evidence racketeering cliques. These are also prison cliques, the same sexual circles and stuff like that were first racketeering acts rules with these criminals with the courts. And this is not opinion. These are people on the sex offender registry with their family members further recorded with other natures of motivations and methods of the same old crimes like racketeering, like sexual abuses. Now, these are people also further as families on and off the schools in town with connections between that. And further are recorded, confessed, foreign and domestic doctors on and off the Southstein Middle School, on and off the campuses in town of each age and each nature, including fire campuses, locations next to one.
Finish your recording after the tone.
So I'd like a response in writing, please, because this is for the Attorney General too, because they have state's attorneys involved. And they have DACA also recorded and confessed and demonstrated it was used for this, which is racketeering through time, interdepartments at the campuses, because they're playing games with words like said and communications, for example.
Press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. To re-record it. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, you may do so now. Goodbye.
They won't see. For years, they just ignore them, do more crimes. They forced the principal sex offender not told on with more I caught recorded. They trapped themselves. Hear the thunder? This is good media. It's not a good one now. Okay, thank you for coming out this evening. Boxing. So WFSB, Fox Connecticut News, other print media, and the training of journalists and their family members are recorded, confessed, and demonstrated also because they have whole bunch of criminal uses of each of the campuses, each of the departments of each of the see, these are the sciences departments. They have the identity of logic recorded, all logic racketeering roles, originally and still. Now, what slavery was really about is this logic racketeering method, with a whole bunch of nations of cultures in collusion with each other. Sick here and there. We have a whole bunch of nations with psychology, with doctors, with their family members, with their drug cliques, and sexual circles interbranch, and involved with the problems now. They're stuck. So, get me a response! Let's go. They also lie about my behavior, attaching me to fake yelling with women at Hartford Hospital. I had no conversation because they have whole families of men and women with this Leahy family. Never had a conversation with them in my life. They pretend other whole detailed fake conversations. These are various natures of courts, judges, retired and standing, all tied to them. Involved with racketeering also, again, leading up to and in the Trade Center attack context with the Ninth Circuit right next to it. They showed post-dated documents from inside the Ninth Circuit to the panel of judges. So late. That was proven after. That proven led to a 2006. Now we're not in Manhattan anymore. Now we're in Connecticut. A 2006 part of a case /S in Connecticut District Court. Leading up to that case, there in it recorded and confessed already people involved with what I was already trying to report because strangers asked for help. People with military families, military police are involved with their family members, also involved with racketeering here. Little Coward Games. This Justin Glavinskis also involved with interbranch Facebook pages used for a whole bunch of natures of racketeering, even sexual, even medical. Now, they have MPs and stuff like that and have the identity. You know how many military people we have? Worthless. These are people of crimes with other nations, like a DeMoro family, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated. I don't think I barely. I saw them in the same location as the Johnson Glavinskis. Now, they had hope, in other words, he's friends with my neighbor, though, the ones with the extended family. Phil Clough was also further confessed, recorded, and demonstrated involved with prison cliques and with forensics cliques, with human trafficking racketeering, and with crime acts with cases since before I was alive with those locations involved. So what we have to do is have the news note the phrase fake news right through administrations. They're forcing it. This was since before the Obama administration effectively used the Obama administration for the same racketeering method that slavery is really about. This is logic racketeering, though. Very simple to discern how someone's lying to themselves and to others when they speak about, the color. But see, we don't have this what's simple pretend realized. What's true always. We don't have that voice. Not denying exceptions. We don't have that voice. See, with a whole bunch of shared nations of shared policing, they call it ally. But they forget originally and still all kinds of private racketeering juxtaposed with the overt criminal enterprises juxtaposed, also recorded crime acts together categorically. A whole bunch of people with a Quest program tied to the FBI and the CIA with their family members, and with foreign and domestic, with fire departments also criminally involved on and off those locations. Fire campuses, no. Medical campuses. Hartford Hospital. Forging names, switching names, mail crime rules, riot crime rules, various natures of courts and their family members and their extended family members. Also with the extended family members of the house that came into my school when I was in 4th grade. That is also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated racketeering acts roles with schools I went to that he didn't even go at, but tied to people with him. And their crime acts roles with the co-defendants of former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin. These are federal criminals from other types of cases. These are also overt federal criminals and criminal enterprises involved with other natures of crimes with them. And so we need to have mandated law followed. They have Wethersfield Police Department and have their phones of the Wethersfield Police Department also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with racketeering acts with 2 Mendez police, identity thefts, police equipment used criminally with roles with the child sex offenders, identity thefts. I never had a conversation with Janito Mendez or whatever his name is, Mendez, and Eric Mendez, his brother, in my life. Eric Mendez recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved racketeering with white power hate groups and with identity thefts and crimes with police forms when I was a kid. He's a little rat mob. Now they're interbranch police, interbranch with crime acts to hide their roles with identity thefts, pretending people to fake locations, fake ties to them when we're kids. Bang! That was scary, yo. Ooh, okay. We gotta get these people done. Let's get her done. Give me a response. Someone, online, supposed to pretend this is reality. We need online police that can counter these police interbranch real sick with their Facebook pages, intercampuses with the Facebook pages. Now, see, they're training the sensibilities of people in relationship to online jobs. Oh, you're not going to get a job if you use this type of language against this group. They have these sexual circles, also sexual cliques, like types of rights movements, cliques, used for identity thefts. They start fights with you. When you're trying to speak about, to record things, they're making up things online, attaching people to fake locations with this Aiellos family, with a whole bunch of people on and off the locations next to Fox Connecticut News and next to WFSB. They're ducking behind that because of how it's with training of police reforms and with intelligence community, military racketeering, foreign and domestic. Kuwaiti military is also involved with the racketeering with our side, with the former director of the FBI. See, now Comey and Mueller are also recorded by sequence shifts involved with them with racketeering interbranch, intermilitary, and intercampuses. So we're gonna need a response. They attach me to fake locations, fake words, boxings. I tell you things. Prepare your souls. Shouldn't be so hard to get a response for them. Forging names, switching names, no, interbranch. Attaching me to fake conversations with people from my town, my age. I never had one conversation with my life. As detectives, their brothers, involved with them, interbranch, in and out of the court, and in and out of the Wethersfield Police Team of apartment crimes. This is Detective Mendez. Who knows the Mendez brothers? Who knows? Where do they live? Get me a response now. These are real sick people with kids since they were kids. With people next to the schools involved with drug cliques. And houses next to the Samuel Dix house involved with them with prosecutors and their family members criminally involved through time. Boxings, I just remind. These are also people with fianzas. Other people recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with it. Also a Pandolf family near the Samuel Dix house. Also involved with junkyards and shit criminally. Excuse my language.